and welcome to another episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. I'm James.
I'm Sarah.
And on this episode, we're going to be discussing continuing education. So we'll talk about schools we've attended, the process for applying for those schools. I'll talk about some stats about the schools that we've attended, ones that we're currently enrolled in, and then ones in the past as well. And we'll also cover all items in this week's episode are purely based on opinions from Sarah and I, and should not be taken as guidance or fact about the schools we discuss. We will also have a discussion about whether or not we feel it is necessary for a college education at all. But first, before we get started in that conversation, Sarah's face looks really weird. She's making a strange face for some reason.
I was trying to grab my notebook and I thought I saw writing on it.
It just came from nowhere. Anyways, I figured the first thing we would do for the first 5 or 10 minutes is do a quick catch up and see how things are going. And Sarah, you started a new job, and I got some exciting news about my job this week.
Yeah, so I'm working front desk for a spa, which is interesting. It's interesting.
I bet. So what's that been like? How have you been?
So it's exhausting in the way that with the long COVID and everything, I can't do much and everything steals my energy. But if I wasn't dealing with long COVID, it would be one of the easiest jobs I've ever had.
That's nice.
It's very straightforward. Even the calendars aren't that confusing. And I'm only getting paid, I think, 30 cents less than what I was making as a pharmacy tech.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it far from where you live? Not where you are now, but where you live?
No, it's only about 7 minutes away from where I live.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not very far at all. Everybody's super chill and nice. It's just,
I would hope so. You work at a bar.
Yeah, right.
Do you get to take advantage of any of the offerings?
Yeah, I get 1 free massage and facial per month.
I would do the facial, not the massage. I don't like people touching me.
No, that's fair.
Well, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then at my job, my manager and my director talked to me this week, and my promotion was approved, and it starts effective on the 15th of August.
Woot woot.
Which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Something I've been working for, well, I can't say that I've been working for it for 5 years, but it's been a fight to get a promotion anytime I try to get one here, which is kind of frustrating. But they all seemed really excited about it, and they were all saying how much they have appreciated everything I've done so far for the facility. And we got a new employee. I got a new coworker, so it's not just 2 of us on my team now, it's 3 of us now.
Woot woot.
So we'll get to do a few more things that we were kind of tied from doing because neither of us had enough time. So we have a 3rd person.
Hey.
Oh,
Sorry,
Sarah died.
Knocking things over, apparently.
All right, well, that was fun. So let's get into our topic for the day. We wanted to talk a little bit about going back to school. So Sarah, do you want to talk a little bit about the enrollment process and getting funding for your school?
So the enrollment process is pretty straightforward. I'm going to Austin Community College, and basically all I needed to do was go to their website, and it does a pretty good job of walking me through it from there. I was able to do it by myself without any issues. As far as the funding goes, ACC is really good about walking you through the financials as well. So once you're enrolled, you can go to self-service through the ACC website, and it walks you step by step through applying for loans, and then it emails you and lets you know whether or not you've been approved, what steps you need to take, and then once you do get it approved, it lets you know what steps you need to do to verify all your information. There's a checklist provided and everything.
Yeah, which is very different from the way that the funding is done at my school. I graduated and am currently re-enrolled in a program through Purdue University Global, and the enrollment process, or the admissions process, was really easy. Same thing, you just kind of went to their website, filled out an application, made sure you got your FAFSA done for the year, and then once approved, you're contacted by an enrollment person, and they got some more information, set up your account for you. And at Purdue University Global, they actually get all your funding and everything for you. So I don't have to apply for student loans or anything like that. They take care of it all, and they just send me an email and let me know how much my loans were approved for, and then every term they send me like a here's your awardable amount, and I don't really have to do anything, which is great until I have to pay for it. I think
yeah, that's where they get you.
Yeah, one thing I'm excited about, or one thing I'm happy about, is the fact that my work pays for up to $8,000 a year, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Nope, I'm just living off student loans.
Yeah, well, not anymore. You have a job.
That's true, not anymore. And today was my second official day.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about the average cost for college.
Mm-hmm.
So how much, I didn't even think to look about how much it costs for the schools that we are going to. So for me, let me talk a little bit about the degrees I have, because I have two now. I have the associate's degree in liberal arts, which I got from Ivy Tech Community College, which is an Indiana community college. And then I have my bachelor's of science in business administration from Purdue University Global. And for both of those, because I actually earned my associates while working on my bachelor's through Purdue University, for both of those, it was, I want to say I owe around $32,000 at the end of my bachelor's degree. Sarah, do you know what it will cost for yours, or the estimated?
Currently, I'm still listed as out of state. I'm trying to get that updated. So the out-of-state cost is $28,716. In-state, though, it's like $7,224. So
wait, what? Say that again. Sorry.
So after, like, once I changed to in-state tuition, the average cost is $7,224
per term,
per year. Yeah. Annual cost.
Okay. And how long is the program you're working on?
So I'm just getting my prerequisites so that I can transfer over to UT. So currently, let's see, it'll probably take me about a year to get all my prereqs. So currently I'm looking at that 28,000 because I'm still listed as out of state.
That's insane it's that much more.
Mm-hmm.
That's over $20,000 more for an out of state.
Yeah, that's because.
Are you sure that's not for an associate's degree?
It is, like, it says tuition fees and annual cost.
Jesus, that's insane.
Yeah.
So I'm looking per credit hour at my school. It is $297 per quarter credit hour.
I think mine's I looked at it not that long ago. It's like,
oh, here it is,
$100 per credit hour or something like that.
So for the undergraduate programs, it's $371 per credit hour. And then if you're getting a bachelor's of science in nursing and associates of science in nursing, it's $315 per credit hour. And then for graduate programs, it ranges from $420 per credit hour to $700 per credit hour. And then tuition for Purdue Global undergraduate online programs is $280 per credit hour, and then the graduate tuition program is reduced by 10%. And the military personnel and population should refer to military pricing below. So there's some information about military pricing as well. Interesting. But so the average U.S. cost for, so this says in-state from 2017 to 2018 for public in-state is $20,770 for a 2-year. Let me see.
Associates.
I didn't open. It didn't say.
Oh.
It doesn't say.
Okay, weird.
I should have read this before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's just undergraduate, so I'm assuming up to a bachelor's degree. It doesn't even say.
I mean, that would make sense though. So
it's frustrating that it doesn't say. And then so for here it is. Okay. So for an associate's degree, it's $17,580. For a public 4-year in-state, it's $25,290. A public 4-year out-of-state, kind of similar to what yours was, it's $40,940.
Yeah.
And then for a private school 4-year, it's $50,900. So for a bachelor's, you're looking at, if you're going to a public school, around $40,000. So, no, that's out of state, around $25,000. So about $10,000, $7,000 less than what I was supposed to be paying.
Dang.
Which isn't actually too terrible. Ooh, it breaks it down by states too. That's nice.
Nice.
Alabama in-state tuition is $10,530. Out of state is $25,760. Alaska in-state tuition. So if you live in Alaska, you pay $7,440. But if you're out of state going to school that's in Alaska, which I don't know why you would, it's $22,840.
I don't.
Arizona, $11,220. Out of state is $29,750. Let's see. So for Indiana, which is where we're both originally, well, not originally. I'm originally from. You're from California.
Yeah.
Indiana, it's $9,360, and then out of state is $23,910. For California, $9,680, similar to Indiana, and then $32,550 for out of state.
That's a oof.
Now Texas,
Tejas.
9,840 for in-state, and then 20,730 out of state. And then Rhode Island, where I am currently living, $12,230 for in-state and 28,910 for out of state. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's also because they're very expensive colleges in Rhode Island. So that probably makes, and there's also room and board is expensive because this is the, this includes, I think, living expenses maybe.
Yeah, but it's funny because like when they include those living expenses, that is not accurate for a year.
No. So that was cost, I guess, for the average cost for schools. And then, so if I were looking at the graduation rate for Purdue University Global, which is where I got my bachelor's degree, and I'm working on my master's degree. It's not super high, which is kind of surprising. 6 years after beginning their degree, 32.5% of students had graduated. And then 8 years after beginning their degree, 33% had graduated. And it says on-time graduation rate for bachelor's degree to be 4 years, but colleges typically report their graduation rates after 6 or 8 years. So for Purdue University, there were 22,555 bachelor degree candidates in the first class of 2015. And then based on that rate, 32.5% graduated by the 6-year mark. On the actual Purdue University Global website, for an associate's degree between 2017 and 2018, the graduation rate was 24%. For a bachelor's degree from 2014 to 2015, the graduation rate is 27%. Master's from 2017 to 2018 is 48%. And then they also have doctoral and then certificate undergraduate and certificate graduate programs. And then we both actually attended Ivy Tech. Well, I attended but didn't finish my degree, but got it through Purdue University Global. But their graduation rate is terrible. Have you ever looked at their graduation rate? I wonder if it's because people begin their degree and then move on to a different school, like transfer their credits.
So most community colleges are that way, because if you look at Austin Community College, their graduation rate is also terrible. But I know that a significant portion transfer either to Texas State University, University of Texas, Austin, Texas A&M, so on and so forth.
That makes sense, but it does make it look like their school isn't that good.
Yeah.
Because the graduation rate was 16.6%.
Yeah, my Austin Community College is 7.4.
And then on Ivy Tech itself, so I don't know where this information comes from. So fall 2014, so this is coming from fall 2014 cohort. It was graduation or transfer out rate is 34%. And then the still enrolled rate was 14%. And then they have it broken down by gender and ethnicity too. That's interesting. So for the Hispanic or Latino or Latinx groups, 23% was either transferred or graduated. American Indian, 17% had either transferred or graduated. Asian, 51%. Black, 30%. White, 36%. For two or more races, 53%, and then non-resident, alien, or unknown says 13%.
Interesting.
And then the other school that I went to, which was the Art Institute of Indianapolis, doesn't have information, mainly because they've been closed down for predatory lending practices. They were a sketchy school. According to this, which is the Art Institute of Chicago, in 2015. By 2017, it was a 65.5% graduation rate. They have a really high graduation rate, but their cost of school was crazy expensive.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
For 1 year, I think it was like $30,000. So what I paid for my bachelor's degree for 1 whole year, I paid at the Art Institute. And then looking at the undergraduation rate for the U.S. So this is from the National Center for Education Statistics. It says from all, well, let's look at public institutions. So the public institution graduation rate is 63% for associates or undergraduates, so a 4-year degree. Of that, it's an average of 60% male and 66% female for public colleges. For private colleges, it's 68% graduation rate, private nonprofit. 64% of that is male, 71% of it is female. And then where it differs and really changes is for for-profit private schools. The graduation rate is 29%. And the male graduation rate is 31%, where the female is 28%, which is interesting. But it looks like this is 2 years. So for an associate's degree, it's very sad. 34% graduated, 29% average for public schools. And I'm assuming that means they've transferred or graduated.
I mean, that's what I would assume as well, yeah.
28% male, 31% female. Private nonprofit is 52%, 53% male, 51% female. So that one's kind of different from the 4-year. And then for-profit private schools, it was 61%. And then again, it's 62% male, 61% female. That's interesting. I think it's interesting. I'm sure people that are listening are bored to tears because it's just statistics. And then, so from Forbes, it says less than half of college students graduate on time. Even after 6 years, less than 60% of students at 4-year colleges have earned a bachelor's degree. The track record for community colleges is even worse, with less than 20% of community college students earning an associate's or certificate. That's hardly a passing grade.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
But that was just some interesting information about graduation statistics at the schools that I've gone to. And Sarah, you talked a little bit about yours. She keeps walking away. I don't know what she's doing. She's probably chasing something.
Oh, I'm house/dog sitting this week while my partner is out of town with his partner. And so I'm watching Boris dog, and I was letting him in and out of the backyard.
Did you ask him why he named him Boris?
Yes.
Was it for Boris Karloff or Boris and Natasha?
It was for Boris and Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Okay, I like that answer, but I also like Boris Karloff, so that's a good answer too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I asked him, he used to have a cat named Natasha, but unfortunately the cat is no longer with him, so it's just Boris. And I was telling my mother earlier, I have a tendency to call him anything but his name.
Like we do with Bobo?
Yes. So like I call him Bobby, Bobercino, Bobinski. I call him Bobinski a lot.
Bastard.
And no, I never call him that.
Oh, no, that's just me. So the other thing I want to talk about before we move on to whether we think it's necessary, which we'll probably pick up in the second half, whether we think it's necessary for a college education. How's your schooling going, Sarah?
It's going okay. I am almost done with my summer semester, and I definitely am never doing that again. It was too much. I'm really glad that I only took 2 classes.
Yeah. Is it where they like try to cram in an entire like 10-week semester into 6 weeks?
There was one of those options. Yes. In my case, they're trying to smash in a 16-week course into a 10-week course.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, so it's been rough.
I think what's weird about the program that I'm signed up for, and we've talked about it a little bit, there's no seminar option. So like we don't actually sit through a seminar or a guided lesson plan. There's a syllabus, and then we have like weekly activities that we have to do. So did you say what degree? No, you're just working on, what degree are you eventually going to be going to?
I'm planning on getting a linguistics degree with a focus in Latin and...
Every damn time.
I know. It's 5:30. Do you know where your kids are?
Air is a mess. Last week it was a child. It's 5:30 when you know where your children are. Last week you had an Amber Alert.
Yes, yes, I did.
Sarah's basically saying that she is stealing children in Texas.
Don't tell them that.
She's a human trafficker.
No, but yes, it'll be a linguistics degree with a focus in Latin and Korean, eventually working towards philology, which is the translation of very old documents into current languages.
That's interesting. Do you think you're going to take it past a bachelor's degree or just bachelor's degree and then end?
No, I think I'm going to try for a master's, but I'm just focused on the bachelor's for right now. I'd really like to study overseas, like in Korea, since that's one of the languages I'm going to be focusing on. But that's going to be a whole other experience.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I got my bachelor's in, bachelor's of science in business admin, which was extremely boring. And then my master's that I'm going to start working on in August is for instructional design and technology, which I'm kind of excited for.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
But so let's go ahead and take just a quick break, and then I'm gonna break down and come back, and we will talk about our thoughts on whether we think people should have to have a college education, and if so, like what type of education. So we will be right back.
All right.
And we're back. So we just finished up talking about current education we're going through, schools that we've attended, and then the graduation rates and stuff like that. So boring information, but interesting information, none to say the least. So now we're going to go into another topic about whether we think college educations are required or our thoughts on that. I'm going to let you start.
Okay. This feels like a trap. I think that education is important. Like, I think that college is a good experience. Do I feel like it's required? No. I feel like it should be accessible to anyone who wants to do it, but I don't think everybody should be like required to have a degree.
Okay. I have two thoughts.
Okay.
Well, three. Actually, okay, we'll go with three. First, I think you're right. College should be accessible to everyone, and it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to go to college. It shouldn't put you in extreme student debt just to get a college education to further your degree, especially if you're going to have positions that are higher positions. I used air quotes there. Higher positions that require someone to have a certain degree. You can't call yourself a free country and then have those types of restrictions put on someone and not be paying for or subsidizing that education requirement for a job. And then, so that being said, I don't think everyone needs to have a college education. There are some people that don't mind or that don't care and don't really want to have any college and are fine at a level in their job where it's not a requirement, so it's not a need to go back to school. Now, I do think that at a certain level, some college education, or, and I'll make that a big or, equivalent to college education should be required. And I say equivalent because I mean, if I'm working for somewhere for a very long time and I know things that would technically be something that you could get in college, I don't see the reason to not give me a position over someone that does have a college education. I've never understood that.
No, I agree with that.
And I think most places, and I won't say a definite most places, I believe in a lot of places, they have the requirement is a bachelor's degree or equivalent experience or an associate's degree or equivalent experience,
Yeah.
which is nice to see. And then that being said, I also have another caveat. I feel like if a employer is going to require a student or an employee to have a specific college level, if that employee is working on that college education, they should be allowed to be promoted to that position
Yeah.
because they're currently working on it. And it shouldn't be like, well, you don't have it yet, so we can't give you a promotion. The other thing, and I have a lot of things apparently. I said 3 things, and I think I'm on like 5 or 6. It's a company, and I'm stuttering over my words for some reason, but a company should also pay attention and give opportunities like mentoring or tutoring, those types of things, to give the employees the tools that they need, to where instead of having to go through college, like having that as here's the one option for like outside people, obviously, but internally, if you've taken these courses that we've set up internally and you got a certificate or completion for these courses, then that's equivalent to this type of a degree from an outside person.
Makes sense.
And I think for the company that I work for, we're kind of working towards something like that, where if you're an internal employee, because you're a little more attractive, because we have so many systems you have to work with, where if you know the systems, you already have that knowledge base. The degree portion of it to get to a certain level, it doesn't really matter, but it's like a degree or equivalent type of thing, which makes sense. But if there's like an engineering job or something like that, there is a requirement for a degree there because you're engineering at some point.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think there's 3 thoughts. So schooling or equivalent for certain positions. And then there are some areas where there's no requirement. There shouldn't be a requirement for a position. I think we talked about it in a few other episodes where it was like, why you're hiring for an entry-level position, but you're saying this person has to have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and your pay is reflective of an entry-level position.
Yeah.
But then this person has $30,000+ in debt that they have to pay off because they went to school.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense. They're making less annually than they owe in college.
Yeah, in student loans.
Yeah. So I mean, that to me, I don't think makes sense. But then again, like I said, I think there are those things that companies can do that they would be able to not subsidize, but make substitutions kind of for a college requirement, where instead of a college requirement, because you've worked here and you've gone through these trainings, like a kind of like a masterclass training type of thing, where they have a system that they can log into and complete the trainings that are required and get an equivalent type of degree, but not really a degree. I mean, I think the thing that sucks for that employee is it makes it, and there might be some laws against something like that, where it makes it to where that information is only good for that company. It's like you can't take the things that you learned from here and move it there, but like you can with a degree. So if you work for a company that you're like, well, I'm never going to leave this company, this is the company I work for, this is the company I like, then that kind of thing makes sense. But if you feel like in the future you may look at moving towards a different degree or a different company, and you want to work towards a degree, work for a company that offers a tuition reimbursement program. Because most of the time, if you do that tuition reimbursement program, the requirement is you work for them for a year after you graduate, and then if you leave after that year, you don't have to pay any of that tuition reimbursement back. If you leave before that year, then it's kind of, I don't know what it is. You don't have to pay the entire amount back. At least I know for the company I work for, Boston Scientific, you don't have to pay the entire amount back, but you do have to pay what's the word?
Portion.
Yeah, that's not the word I was looking for, but yeah, a prorated amount. That's the word I was looking for. But I mean, those are just things I think about whenever I think of college education. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, since last week you said that I was being lazy and totally not looking up things to participate, I looked up some funny trivia questions that I don't think either of us would have been able to guess the answers for, but they're really interesting.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm gonna scroll back up. I was like glancing through them. Okay. How many teeth does a dog have?
42.
No.
Okay.
28 is the answer it gives me here.
Oh, well, I just looked it up on Google and it says an adult dog should have 42 teeth in total. That's 20 on the top and 22 on the bottom. Puppies only have 28 temporary teeth, but not all dogs grow into their 42 teeth. I'm cheating, Sarah, because that's the person I am.
I see that.
That's why it took me so long to answer.
You're cheatsy.
So whatever you're looking at, it's talking about puppies develop 28 teeth. Is what because there's several articles and a lot of them are saying 42 are permanent teeth.
Okay.
And 28 puppy teeth. So puppies have 28. Next one. I won't look up this one.
I don't believe you.
Here, my hands are here.
What was Walt Disney afraid of?
Spiders. Snakes.
No, it's really funny though.
Is it children?
No.
Damn it.
Though he didn't like children.
Okay, what is it?
From my understanding. He was afraid of mice.
Oh, okay. I mean, who isn't afraid of mice? I mean, because he made Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
He doesn't really look like a mouse, though.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Let's see. In what state was fried chicken invented?
Louisiana? Well, it wasn't Kentucky.
No, actually, it wasn't created in a state at all. It was created in Scotland.
Well, then that's not a fair question. That's bullshit, Sarah. I wasn't asking these crazy ass questions that have nothing to do with.
That's how they phrased it. I'm just going with it. All right, let's see. Police officers get a half-hour class in training on how to do what?
Oh, half-hour class, probably de-escalation or what's the other thing? Sexual harassment.
How to sit down,
right,
with all their stuff on them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that because if you don't do it right, you may fire your gun especially if it's not on safety.
Okay, this one you might know the answer to. Think about it's a place we've been to. Okay, that's your hint. Where were fortune cookies invented?
New York City? Really?
On coast.
Oh, California?
Mm-hmm. Do you know where in California?
San Francisco.
Yep.
Yeah. I couldn't remember. I've heard that before, but I couldn't remember if it was San Francisco or New York.
Let's see. This one's funny. This one I've heard before. How many miles is New Zealand's 90-mile beach?
Oh, it's like 55.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did that with you at the Purple Rooster restaurant.
Oh, yeah, that's a possibility. Let's see. Iceland diverted their roads in order to avoid disturbing communities of what?
We did this one too. It's fairies. Yeah. And not the gay kind, but like the
like the mythical kind of
fairy tale kind. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these are ridiculous. Like it's like the Lone Star State is the official nickname of what state? I'm just like, everybody should know that
West Virginia.
Yes, West Virginia. No, but like, also like the national dish of Japan.
The noodles? Oh no, it's kimchi. No, that's Korea.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what is it? Ramen?
It's puffer fish.
Oh.
Which is interesting because you have to prepare it properly or else you can die.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how did somebody come up with that? Somebody was just like, let me try to eat this.
I think it has something to do with like samurais. I could be wrong. And that could be completely racist. Any more questions?
Let's see. Oh, this one's interesting. About how many languages are written from right to left? So this way.
How many languages are there? I don't know that answer. Do you know how many languages there are
in the world?
Yeah. No. Okay.
No,
I'm gonna say like 15.
You're close. It's 12.
I was gonna say it couldn't be more than 20. You know what? Hebrew's written from
right to left.
A lot of
Japanese right to left.
A lot of languages in that region are right to left. Yeah.
So, but that is an interesting question. How many languages are there in the world? Let me take a look.
I'm gonna say it's over 100.
It's definitely over 100, but I don't think it's more than 200 languages are there. Oh, nope, I was extremely wrong. There are 7,100 languages spoken in the world today.
Are those like actual national languages or like, what is that? The Klingon, those types of things?
I don't know if they included Klingon, but it looks like they're not. A lot of them are not as widely spoken. But no, they're languages from different countries. I almost said companies. So the most spoken languages, let's see, the top 12 most spoken languages in the world: English, Mandarin, Hindi, Spanish, French, Arabic, Bengali, Russian, Portuguese, and Indonesian.
And it's ranked from like 1 to 10.
It is ranked by number of speakers.
Okay. I have one. How many teeth do sharks have?
That's a good question. They have like over 100, don't they?
Yes.
Because they have like multiple rows of teeth.
Yep. Most sharks have 5 rows of teeth and can have as many as 3,000 at once. And
that's why you don't want to get bit by them.
So they get continuously replaced, and they can lose up to 100 per day.
Okay.
I was gonna say this might be a short recording session, but we already had a 30-minute one, and now we're working on 15.
Yeah. Nope. That's it. That's all I got for right now.
Okay. Let me see if I can find something. Let's see. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I know the answer to this, but I don't.
Failure.
But I don't remember the answer to this.
As much wood as a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Yeah.
However, if you ask Google or Siri, they give you some snarky ass answer.
Yeah.
Oh, it says about 700 pounds.
About 700 pounds. Okay. All right.
That's funny. Let's see. Dirty trivia.
Oh God. Here we go again.
Dirty trivia questions. 20 dirty riddles with answers.
Oh God. Not just questions. Riddles.
What's in a man's pants that you just won't find in a girl's pants?
Pockets.
Pockets. That's exactly what it is. Pockets. And I disagree with that. You have pockets in women's pants. They're just not as big as men's, which is dumb.
Not every pair of women's pants has pockets, though.
That's true. What has a 4-letter word that ends in K and means the same as intercourse? We already talked about this one.
Yeah.
We already did this one.
Yeah.
It's talk. And then the next one was, what is hairy on the outside but soft and wet on the inside, and whose word starts with a C and ends with a T?
It's coconut.
Coconut. We did that one. I go in hard but come out soft, and I never mind if you blow me. We already did this one. Okay, that one.
Yep.
We did this. That first one we didn't do though.
That's true.
Oh, here's rude quiz questions and answers. What could be the job of Santa Claus before he becomes a wish granting and gift giving legendary figure? And there's three possible answers: a trader, a driver, or a pole dancer.
A driver.
These are stupid. It's pole dancer. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would that be the answer? That's dumb.
Because he lives at the North Pole.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, it's not that dumb anymore. God. What 5-letter word starts with a P that women always love to put their hands on?
Purse.
Purse is the correct answer. Walk into the room, purse first. Bob the drag queen. What gets bigger when you blow and tighter or longer when you wrap your lips around it? Bubble, balloon, or bag?
Balloon.
Balloon. What can you find in, we already covered this one, pockets. Oh, the answers here they have listed: money, pocket, tobacco.
Okay.
It's a little sexist. Which 4-letter word? We already talked about that one. It's talk. This one's coconut. Stupid. These are dumb. These are all the same. Cucumber, voice. It always needs a bed. Some people prefer to be on the bottom. Oh, we did this one too. While others want to be on top. What is it?
The bunk bed.
Yeah. These are stupid. These are all the same.
So switching over, I have a Reddit account, and
so does like 95% of the rest of the population of the United States.
Yeah, it took me a while to get one though, so like give me a break here. I'm behind the times. So I don't know what happened, but it gives me like notifications when there's a new post. And so I just got a new post, says good, decent guy, not happy when his hey message is ignored. And basically it's this quote unquote nice guy going on a tirade about at this woman, and it's like 3 pages long. It's ridiculous.
So you're just gonna talk about it, and I mean it's 3 pages. I don't want to hear the whole 3 pages.
I'm not gonna read the whole 3 pages,
Okay.
but I was gonna read snippets of it.
Okay.
God. You won't know it's a decent guy till you turn the page a few times, ? It's what they eat that turns them into a bull. Most you girls are boring anyways, legit have nothing good to talk about. No wonder y'all single, go get a puppy or something, LOL. Maybe look less like a hoe and you might get a decent guy. I don't hate women, I just dislike stubborn fools like you who have shitty taste for men.
Strange. Oh, I have another question.
hmm
I have a couple. Every day, 2,700 Americans find out they have what disease?
How many Americans?
2,700, 2,700.
Is it a sexually transmitted disease?
I'm not going to give you that answer. I mean, that kind of gives you the answer.
Is it your favorite one to mention? Herpes?
No, it's not herpes, but it is an STI or STD. In this case, it would be a D.
I don't know.
Gonorrhea.
No, I think gonorrhea is curable. So
It is, yeah. And then what did Socrates, Aristotle, and Janis Joplin have in common?
Joplin.
Yeah.
Janis Joplin. I have no idea.
They were all bisexual.
I did not know that.
What was the world's first X-rated cartoon?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, I do because it's listed here, but I wouldn't know before this. Fritz the cat. Like 30% of women have done it, but only 10% do it regularly. It should be have done this, but only 10% have done this regularly.
I don't know.
Have multiple orgasms. What percentage of people like dirty talk during sex?
What?
What percentage of people like dirty talk during sex? I didn't stutter.
No, I was distracted looking at Fritz the cat.
Sarah.
I've seen this actually. I've seen this movie. Yeah, I've seen it.
Do you have an answer?
No. No, I don't.
58%. Stop watching the cat porn.
I'm not watching it. I was reading about it.
Jeez. And then what are the most common ordered item for sex catalogs? From sex catalogs.
Dildos?
Novelty condoms.
Novelty? Why would you buy a novelty condom?
I don't know. How fast do sperm swim?
Super fucking fast.
No, they don't. 1/8 of an inch per hour. It's not very fast.
No.
What was given out to celebrate the birthday of King Bajumbo in Thailand in 1983?
I have no idea.
Free vasectomy.
I love that.
Oh, this one's funny. Siena law forbids women of what name to be prostitute?
Mary?
Close. Maria.
That's weird. That's really weird.
If your doctor gives you a salversan, Salversan, he is treating you for what? Salversan. I think that's a drug, I'm assuming. Don't look it up, you cheater.
Whatever. You looked it up. It's for syphilis.
You cheater.
Like you didn't cheat earlier, sir?
I did, but that's because I'm me. What percentage of men claim to shave their pubic hair regularly?
50.
10%.
10%. Oh, well.
That's claim. So I don't know how many actually do, and I don't know how old this is. And there's no date. What's this stuff down at the bottom? Oh, okay. Last one, and then I have to take the little man out, so we're gonna have to cut it.
Yep.
What TV character must have sex every 7 years?
Spock?
Yeah, Mr. Spock.
It's called Ponfar, and I cannot believe I just allowed my nerd level to go to that high. Wow. Okay. All right.
Very, very disappointed in you, Sarah. Anyways, that takes us to the end of this week's episode. So thank you all for listening if you did. If not, sorry about it. If you would like to interact with us, we have our Instagram page, which is Now About That Pod on Instagram. You can also send us an email at nowaboutthatpod@gmail.com. And then you can also reach out to us on our personal Instagrams if you would like. Mine is jmartin 2010. Sarah, do you want to give yours? I already have.
SASmith2336@gmail.com.
I said Instagram, you fool. She doesn't listen. Listeners, she doesn't even listen. What is your Instagram handle, you fool?
Broken_rivers.
All right. Anyways, thanks for listening. That takes us to the end of our episode today. Enjoy the rest of your week if you're listening to this on Monday when it comes out. Otherwise, also like, comment, subscribe, rate the podcast if you're listening to it on a rating platform.
Share us around.
Yeah, share us around. And that'll be it. Thanks, you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.